There's something nobody warns you about when you start following God. They tell you about the peace, the joy, the purpose, but exhaustion, the bone deep weariness that comes from trying to hold everything together while still showing up for Him, that part gets left out of the brochure. Right now, you're tired, not just sleepy tired, soul tired, the kind of tired that makes you wonder if you're doing any of this right. You've been carrying weight that was never meant to sit on your shoulders alone, and the strain is starting to show in places nobody else can see. Here's what's happening in this moment. You're going to pause, not to add another task to your list or to perform some spiritual gymnastics, just to stop. Because sometimes the most faithful thing you can do is admit you can't keep going at this pace. Picture yourself sitting somewhere quiet, not in a hurry to get anywhere. God is there with you, and He's not checking His watch or tapping His foot. He's just present. What does that feel like? Not what should it feel like, but what does it actually feel like right now in your current state of exhaustion? He reaches over and sets something in front of you. It's a container, and you both know what's inside without opening it. Every worry that's been circling your mind like a vulture, every anxiety that wakes you up at 3 in the morning, the fear that you're failing the people who depend on you, the guilt that you're not doing enough, being enough, praying enough. Some of you just pictured a shoebox. Others saw a storage unit. David wrote something in Psalm 139 that's either comforting or terrifying, depending on your perspective. He asked God to search him and know his anxious thoughts, not his good thoughts, not his grateful thoughts, his anxious ones, the ones we usually try to hide, even from ourselves. You don't have to deal with everything in that container right now. That's not how this works. Just open it and take out one thing, something specific, not the biggest thing, not the scariest thing, just one manageable piece of the weight you've been carrying. Hold it in your hand for a moment. Look at it. This is real. This is what's been stealing your peace. Now comes the part that feels almost too simple to work. You hand it to him. That worry you've been clutching, that fear that's been running loops in your head, you extend your hand and release it into his. What happens next isn't dramatic. There's no lightning bolt, no sudden rush of emotion, just the quiet acknowledgement that you're not meant to solve everything alone. He takes it from you because he's been waiting for you to let go. Not because he needs your permission, but because he won't force your hand open. Trust doesn't work that way. Sit there for a moment longer. Feel the difference in your chest, in your shoulders. Something shifted when you released your grip. It's subtle, but it's real. This is what it means to cast your anxiety on him, not to pretend it doesn't exist, but to stop pretending you can manage it by yourself. Here's what God wants you to hear right now, pulled straight from Isaiah. He says he created you, formed you, redeemed you, called you by name. You are his. When the waters rise and threaten to pull you under, he's there in the flood with you. When you walk through fire and everything around you burns, you won't be consumed because he's standing in the flames beside you. This isn't poetry meant to sound nice. This is promise. You're not abandoned in your exhaustion. You're not failing because you're tired. You're human, and he knows exactly what that means because he chose to become it. Every limitation you feel, he understands. Every moment you think you can't keep going, he's already made provision for. The other worries in that container, they're still there. This wasn't about emptying everything at once. It was about learning that you can hand him one thing and he'll take it. Tomorrow you can come back and hand him another and another, as many times as it takes for you to realize He's not keeping score or losing patience. You're sitting with the God who spoke galaxies into existence, and He's choosing to spend this moment with you, not because you earned it or impressed Him, but because you're His. That's enough reason. That's always been enough reason. When you're ready, open your eyes. But remember what just happened here. You weren't alone before, and you're not alone now. Hand it over again tomorrow and the day after that, because strength isn't found in carrying everything yourself. It's found in the daily practice of releasing your grip and trusting the one who's been holding you all along.